Xiaomi has a lot of products and two different lines, the Mi line and the Moan line. This one falls into the standard Xiaomi Mi line. This is the aptly named Xiaomi NOTE. It looks familiar, we'll say. It features Android 11, a new stylus pen never before seen, and the ability to install from unknown sources and put in your own APK apps. It's sleek, it's clean, and it's under $400, making it quite a competitive entry in the e-note market. So let's check it out and what it all can do right now. Before we get into the unit, we have to look at this pen. This pen is phenomenal. We absolutely very much appreciate digital stationery popping up with new products. It's a kind of an untapped market that only about 5 or 6 players actually have any substantial stake in. This is Xiaomi's entry. It utilizes a really small tip, but this is Wacom. This will work on the Remarkable. This will work on the Kindle. This will work on Onyx, Boyu, KingGem, MobiScribe, everything. This will work on your unit. It features an overall aluminum design. It is plastic, but it looks like it has a little bit of crystal flake in there, Xiaomi logo on the side, and a button that pushes down at the back. These tips are proprietary, but actually come in a very, very nice box. The whole pen comes in this kind of folding wallet style case, and you actually get 7 tips total, 6 in the canister and 1 in the pen. You also get a tip removal tool in which you go like that, slide it all over, and it'll pull the tips out. This is easily the cleanest looking tip canister we have ever seen. Absolutely love it. Moving over to the device, it's not an elephant in the room situation. This looks like the Remarkable 2. It has the exact same color scheme, the exact same dual bezel. It lacks the pogo pin, but the power button and the USB-C are located in the exact same place. It is so similar to Remarkable in that it doesn't even have audio, much like them, and it doesn't have a glow light. But this actually goes significantly further than the Remarkable when it comes to the internal hardware and the software. This has everything under the sun inside. It has split screen mode, we have Bluetooth for audio, we have a system-wide contrast, we have free up some RAM, and yes, this will be in English when you guys order it. This thing is just currently the tech demo that we're showcasing. It will be in full English. You can install apps, you can browse files, you can browse the web, you can go anywhere, you can go on social media, you can send your emails. So in that regard, it takes a step away from the Remarkable outside of its just appearance, and it goes significantly further. This thing is an overall very, very, very snappy device. It also looks very close to the Surface because it lacks that glow light, because it lacks the color array filter. It just has the ability to become closer to the Surface rather than feeling like it's sunken all the way down, regardless of this being a flush screen and bezel. You also get a soft button at the bottom in order to go back or home, and you can go over to the settings, in which case you have a ton of different settings. You will have Bluetooth, device personalization, application management, and yes, if you're wondering, you can install from unknown sources, meaning you can install anything like we did with the Amazon app, which we're going to get into right now. This is Amazon Kindle. If your question is, can I read my Kindle books? The answer is yes, because this is the Amazon app. This is a tablet. This is the Amazon app. You can read it all you want. You can put device storage driven books in the root directory and read them with the stock reading app, or you can use the Amazon Kindle app, in which case you get all of the things like you would get on the Amazon app: report content error, you get X-ray, you get dictionary, you get Wikipedia, you get flashcards, you get WordWise, you get a bunch of things. You can do anything that the app does because this is the app. It's not a scaled version, it's not a skinned version, it is the app for all intents and purposes. If you go over here, you can click the AA button, in which case recently they've made you jump through a couple more hoops, but you can go to the font, you can go to the layout, you can make it bigger. Unfortunately, no, that's the glow light, which the hardware doesn't have, so the software can't communicate to it. If you say become brighter but there's no LEDs, well then it's communicating to nothing. But you can change all of your font styles, you can change your font size, and you can do anything the app can do. Can you take notes on it? No, because right now this app is treating either the Wacom input or the capacitive input as capacitive input. If you want to take notes on your ebooks, you'll have to use different applications for that. Let's go back because we have to look at a few more things. We have manga on here as well. Now, to be honest, this is a very good screen. It looks very clear, and you do have pinch and zoom, although you don't need to because it's 10.3. But manga is almost never 10.3 inches in Japan. It's mostly 10.3 inches when you get over to North America. You know, you go to the comic book store, you get those cardboard boxes and you filter through all the comics till the one you want. Those kind of thin, low profile, short stack comic books is more indicative of what this is. You can see here with my hands. Manga is traditionally a little bit smaller. In fact, some manga are bite-sized, the ones that you grab from the convenience store. They're about 4 or 5 inches, so it is just going to depend on the particulars of where you're from, but for the most part, there's no problem reading manga on this whatsoever. PDFs work perfectly fine as well. Opening up a PDF, this is where we start to really get on board with you guys buying PDFs. We never recommend PDFs on a 6-inch, a 6.8, a 7.8. It starts to get real around the A5 paper size, which is 10.3. This is when it starts to look good. Everything's readable, it's very manageable, you know where you are on the page, you have your bearings down. From here, you'll see that this particular application does not have English, but you can install any app you want, as we've mentioned. In fact, when you go back and you open up the PDF, to prove our point, you have a ton of different ways to open it. You can open it with WPS Office, you can open it with the proprietary Chinese apps that are on here, you can open it with Kindle if you want. And the experience will be different. This one scrolls, for example, so it is just going to come down to how good your own application is. We recommend something like Adobe Acrobat. It's just kind of the easiest way to go. Now that we go all the way back home, you can long press to go home. You see you have a bunch of things here. These are your apps. You have File Explorer, you have an App Store, I don't recommend it, and you have a Lightning browser. Just download something better like Mozilla and call it quits. If you go to the top here, you'll notice you have split screen mode. Clicking on this allows you to split it into 2 parts. It starts off as top and bottom, which is kind of cool, honestly. It gives you the kind of horizontal landscapes rather than 2 vertical kind of portrait side-by-sides. You can mitigate this by rotating it, of course. So you can go over here, unlock the rotation, say I got it, and when you twist it, it will automatically go side-by-side. Now you have 2 vertical segments, and these are completely individual UI elements. For example, I can turn pages with this side and I can open up things on this side like my browser or my notebook or whatever you want, and from here you get the ability to take notes and still turn pages. And there's a little thing that you guys might not notice. You'll see that as I do things on both, turn page, take note, both are active. A lot of manufacturers don't do that. This is overlooked. If I do something on this side, sometimes it doesn't work on some devices. You have to tap, trigger it, make the device know that you're working on this panel, then you can do something. Same with this. A lot of devices you have to say, this panel please, and then take a note. But the Xiaomi has you covered. You can turn pages on this, and you can take notes right away. Clicking the top down right here, you can exit split screen mode and go back into the full screen, in which case it will remember where you were and it will remember your orientation. Now we're going to go all the way to the very beginning again because we have to show the most important segment out of all of them, which is note taking. This is the biggest one. Starting over here on page 1, which we've already kind of pre-loaded some stuff here, you have a bunch of different pens, 8 pens in fact: ballpoint, highlight, chisel, paintbrush, pencil, mechanical fountain, and leaf pen. All of these can be changed right here with pen sizes, and yes, it does have pressure sensitivity. In fact, this pen is so cool, it actually pushes in a little bit as well, so it retracts, giving you a very tactile feel. As you're drawing, you can push it in. Not recommended on plastic-based devices like the following devices right here: the Fujitsu, the Remarkable One, the Mimes, the Hanvon N10, etc., because those are going to be plastic-based. You will dent the screen. Only use super clicky pens like this and the Super Note pen, for example, on devices that run glass screens. You can input a bunch of different recorders as well. Don't worry, this will be in English when you get it. You can add a new page, you can do your pens, and you can do eraser in many different ways. So if I have my pen here and I grab a paintbrush with a very thick bleed, we always like that, looks really good. And you know what? This is quick. very, very, very fast. I love it. There's no indication of this being slow whatsoever. It's not playing catch up to any degree. Once you go over to the eraser, you can use the pen tip, or you can simply just turn it around and use the eraser like that. It's very accurate and it's very fast, and it doesn't leave any residue. You'll see right there, if I get my pen back, right there, and right there, there's no line. There's no leftover bleeding of any kind. There is some leftover from the last one, in which case you can just refresh the screen like that. But as you erase, there's nothing left behind. It's a very clean erase. You also have a ton of different templates here. You can download your own and install your own, and you can use the selector tool. So you can select a certain range, move it around, stamp it, stretch it, do whatever you want. You can disable the touchscreen as well, and you can do various things like add this to your home screen, etc. Currently, there are some things left out, we've found. There is no plus image, where you usually see a little mountain range like that. There are no layers currently. There's none of that and none of that. So we are missing a few things, and we're missing one more crucial thing. Shapes. There's no shapes. They said that these will be implemented later on, and it can all be done with OTA, which is over-the-air updates. Don't worry, we all remember how the Amazon Kindle Scribe came out with only basically 2 different options, so we are very much waiting for the update, and we have a lot of faith that it will become a fully usable and fully widespread available amount of palettes, selectors, and everything in between. There's a case to be said about a distraction-free device. This is borderline. It doesn't have as many features as, say, a Note 5 or a MeBook P10, but it claims its place as the closest remarkable to copycat we've ever seen, except with added features to push it beyond what it is emulating. However, all in all, the standout feature of this unit has to be the pen. It's never before seen, but we're glad we saw it. For GoodyReader.com, this is Peter.